Okay, cool. Hello, everybody. RWBY tier list. We're doing a RWBY tier list right now. Top tier, diamonds, compelling, charming, don't care, NPCs, questions, comments, concerns, and Adam. Why is Adam in Adam tier? Shiki, can you tell us?
Because Adam is a Malcolm X insert done terribly, an angry, salty minority who's racist, and then an angry, jealous boyfriend.
Yeah, but
he's none of them done remotely well.
Yeah, I mean, like they really had a lot of ideas for Adam, and not all of them fit very well together. I don't think.
Like, if you're going to have a Malcolm X insert, that's cool. But, like, you can't take your Malcolm X insert and then turn him into ooga booga,
jealous,
racist, and mean.
Oh my god, like, literally one of his lines is like, "What does she even see in you?" Right before they brutally murder him and throw him off a cliff.
Yeah, and he has his wonderful line where he's like, "I have been literally fucking branded over my eye, but the true pain was when you didn't date me, Blake."
I mean, because, like, in, like, if this was, like, a better character, I can imagine that line working, because, like, oh, being hurt by someone I hate is one thing, but being, like, abandoned by someone I loved is another, but, like...
But it's bad in the context of RWBY, because you know that they have an ongoing theme of romantic rejection being worse than systemic racism.
Right. Ilia's down here. There she is. We'll talk more about that later.
Damn it. Also, it's, like, really gross, because, like, when he dies, it's supposed to be, like, satisfying because they're killing this brutal killer, because there's, like, hints of nuance in him, or, like, even his scar was shown in that fight. It's, like, it feels like Adam was, like, shafted in the worst way possible. It's just, like, genuinely, like, gross how poorly handled he is.
Yeah, like, I guess spoilers for the whole tier list. Everyone touched by the racism plotline is going under questions, comments, concerns, or down here with Adam.
Except for Weiss.
Yeah. Oh, you know, another thing that's kind of disappointing is that, like, Adam has been with the show since, like, day one, like, the Black trailer. So, like, seeing that slow decline, like, just him getting worse and worse, like, every volume they include him is just...
Oh, it's so bad. Like, he's supposed to be this huge, terrifying revolutionary during volume, like, 4 or 5, right? But then, when he shows up, he has, like, 2 goons.
Just 2 goons. Me and my 2 goons are gonna take over the world, man!
And it doesn't help that, like, we never got to see him being, like caring about, like, discrimination, and we never got to even see him being racist towards the poor humans. We literally only saw him as a jealous boyfriend, and we were just alluded to when he used to be slightly more interesting.
Yeah, like, the problem with the racism plotline is that, like, it's just about, like, minorities fighting other oppressed minorities for not being an oppressed minority the right way.
It's so bad.
His
only side is he has a good interaction with Yang, and the way he fights is pretty cool. Like when he tackles a guy into a tree by his neck with his sword.
Yeah, Adam looks cool when he fights. That's like his one redeeming quality as he exists.
Quite literally, he's bad, and he gets a whole tier just to himself.
Yeah. And, of course, the baby's an NPC. Amber,
don't
care, but she serves a purpose, indeed.
Yeah, she made Crow kind of sad, too. We got a charming little prankster man.
Wait, like, we're talking about Amber, how Crow was just slacking on his job. Like, okay, Crow, these are the 4 most important people on the planet. Could you, like, be a good bodyguard and, like, help her get across the kingdom, okay? Well, anyway, the lamp...
Sorry if my wonderful family got picked up on my mic.
Yeah. Okay, staff...
so anyway, charming. He's better than Jin because he's like a funny little prankster where, like, if you give him bad instructions, haha, I made a death pit. But if you give him good instructions, and he's just genuinely happy to build. He's just always a positive personality.
Yeah, he's a craftsman, and he just wants everything to be as interesting as possible.
And he's a fucking hunk.
Yeah, look at him. Ren's mom. NPC.
Doesn't matter.
Xenoverse, Dragon Ball Z,
Xenoverse, right? Not Xenoblade.
Oh, look at that! It's our favorite character, Blake.
Oh no! Oh yeah, sorry. Adam doesn't get his own tier. We forgot.
Like these two deserve each other down here. Like Blake is I've seen so many comparisons between like
What if
Fisher
Adam
Tiger and like Otohime, and be like, oh, these are like the Fisher Tiger and Otohime. No, they're not. They're not.
That's because like you can very clearly argue Fisher Tiger and Otohime are like loosely based on Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. One of these two was based on Malcolm X in the first volume, maybe. And then Blake's whole thing is quite literally, hey, literal civilians who are placed on this Ethno State island because the world is racist. If you don't take up arms to defeat the terrorist Faunus, our entire race deserves to be persecuted.
You have a moral obligation to fight for your right as second-class citizens.
If you don't purge the bad ones, you are just as bad as them and deserve whatever comes to you.
Oh my god, like so
It's
and like
so
when she points at the burning house, says, humans didn't do this.
Blake, you did it.
Blake, you did it. You're the one who's...
It also doesn't help that she dates Yang and makes Yang infinitely less fun when Yang rocks.
God, yeah, like it's just like, oh, it's Yang's being quirky with her racist apologist girlfriend.
It's like, oh my god, they're learning how to dance. How charming. I don't care. Oh, I guess you could also just argue the romance isn't very good because they kind of just went from pals to Yang was sad she left to now we're dating. They didn't really have any build up.
I don't like it.
Alright, we got... So, is it Spear Boy?
I think he fights with the staff, actually.
Ah, damn it.
For some reason, my brother thinks this guy is really cool, and I do not understand why.
It's funny.
NPC... Cardin of the Bully. Oh, I like Cardin.
What a fun bully. Hello, Jean, best buddy. I have climbed up from the lower window because I overheard your conversation. He's funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny bully.
Yeah. Not an interesting character, really.
Pokemon looking girl that takes after Penny. Don't care.
It's like the best character in the whole show.
No, good character. Fuck. We have to be nice.
Yeah.
Oh wait. Oh yeah. I forgot. People don't like Cinder. Uh-oh.
Yeah. People don't like Cinder because they're dumb. They don't understand what an interesting character is supposed to be because they like. I've seen so many comparisons like, oh, she should be more like Adam. Which I'm not sure, like, I guess they mean, like composed and, like, in control or whatever, but, like, Cinder's interesting because she's petty and insecure.
Control.
Yeah. Like, she's interesting because she's petty and insecure, and, I know, like, being power hungry is, like, oh, like a stereotypical villain thing, but, like, it's done really well with Cinder.
Well, Adam's thing is also anger, too. No, because, like, yeah, I talked about this, because I figured out how to word it correctly. You can tie her to the main RWBY team. She and Ruby are opposite embodiments of death, where Ruby grieves and mourns, and then fucking Cinder literally does the opposite of grieving. She sees killing her allies as nothing more than a way to get stronger. And then, going in order, next is Weiss, right? That's the order it goes? Yeah. Weiss, it's the same with, like, the death thing. They both get stronger from killing people, but Weiss gets stronger from killing her enemies.
Well, actually, I think it's more accurate to say, like, Weiss gets stronger by, like, earning her summons by, like, oh, I defeated an enemy, now I can make a new summon, whereas with Cinder, she's taking power from other people.
And it also doesn't help that, like, quite literally, like, Weiss has a thing where, like, I kill enemies to protect my family, whereas Cinder is like, nah, I kill my family to get stronger so I can kill more of them.
Yeah.
And then, Yang, obviously, they have good stuff with, like, power and weakness and learning to accept it.
Like, I love, like, Yang. Yang's, like, the best character. Like, Yang's whole thing is about, like, okay.
I skipped Blake.
Yeah, we don't need to talk about Blake, okay?
Right, no, I can talk about Blake a little bit, because the idea is, like, with the status quo, if we pretend Blake is actually a good character, and she shows, like, the correct way to fight the status quo, Cinder shows the wrong way, because she's violent and aggressive towards the people in power.
Yeah, she just hates anyone above her.
Yeah, and she's so good, and she's also a fucking bitch in Volume 8 in the best way.
What I like about, like, her and Yang is, like, both in the first 3 volumes, they're, like, super confident, of course, and, like, they're, like, the strongest members of their respective groups. But, like, then they get their fucking shit rocked in different ways and, like, become, amputees. They both lose an arm. But, like, how they choose to recover from that, like, is very different. Yang, like, she's talking with her dad. It's like, okay, Yang, you're never going to be as strong as you want to be. So you have to like work within your limitations and like accept the fact that you're gonna have like weaknesses, vulnerabilities forever, and then you can learn to cope and live with them. Whereas with Cinder, it's like, no, Cinder, get stronger so no one can ever touch you again, and that'll solve all your problems, which it really can't. Because like another thing I like about her relationship with RWBY is that no matter how much magic power she steals from the other maidens, RWBY's always going to be her kryptonite, so pokes a big hole in her logic.
And there's also kind of the thing where, like, even her, like, strength grim arm makes her even weaker against RWBY.
Yeah, like, and her aura can't protect her grim arm, so it's just another vulnerability that she's trying to, like, ignore and just hide away.
It's quite literally, like, the more she tries to embrace Salem, the more it fails because she's not Salem.
Yeah, like, that's one thing I love about her design. Like, you know, at first, like, she's got, like, the short dress, but then, like, after she gets her shit rocked, it's, like, this longer dress, like, with the long sleeve and, like, it's, like, she's trying to cover her scars, like, her fake arm and her eye. And then, like, in volume 7 and 8, she's just, like, trying to dress more like Sam with all the black and all that. I like it.
Yeah, like, she's petty in a lot of good ways. Like, she murders Watts because he talked shit to her. She dumps her girlfriend Neo because she was mad at her. She fucking tries to murder Jean because he got a lucky hit in because she's that mad.
Yeah, she's like, oh my god, this dope got a hit on me? No, it's not supposed to be this way. Yeah, like, I think, like, the reason why people don't like Cinder is that, like, they think, oh, the character either has to be, like, sympathetic or, like, respectable, which in case,
I don't
like,
think
yeah.
that's true. Because, yeah, she's neither. She's not sympathetic,
she's neither.
She's understandable, and she's not, what was the other one?
Respectable.
Yeah, and she's not respectable. She's a fucking evil, conniving little fucker.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and also, didn't you say people think she ruined the tension because she like loses too much?
Yeah, I think I've heard some people say
She's
that.
the main villain. It's okay if she loses, and plus, she never lost to Team RWBY. She lost to like Raven. It was like a random top tier who shows up and then leaves.
Yeah. Also, I love how tenacious she is. Like, she loses, like, 3 times in the same volume, and, like, at the end of volume 8, she just wins it all, somehow.
Oh, it's so fun. She's just a fun character. She makes me happy.
Yeah. One of the few reasons why I was still watching the show even past, like, volume 6.
That's so mean.
Well, lucky me, 7 and 8 were the good ones. Hey, it's Mr. Lucky Charms. Where are we gonna put him? Charming or?
I think he's. Would you argue he's like he's compelling, just not like, great?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I could see him at the bottom. Because like he actually has interesting stuff going on.
The problem is he mostly just exists to make Harriet and Crow better.
Yeah, like every scene he's in that's important, like it has something to do with Crow.
Or then once he's dead, it has to do with Harriet. Because like Crow's whole thing is like, oh, a positive luck output, how nice. And then there's the thing where like at the end it ties into like 7 and 8's whole militarism authoritarian thing where like they have a clear choice. Is he gonna treat Crow like a criminal as bad as Tyrion, or is he gonna realize, oh wait, Crow's a good guy, we should fight Tyrion? Whoops, he treated Crow like a criminal, so Tyrion murdered him.
Yeah. That's fun. And also, he fights with a fishing pole, which is just awesome. That's just great. That's just lovely. It makes me happy.
Yeah.
Take notes, Togashi. Take notes, Togashi.
Hey man, no, Hunter's gonna come back, and now that Gon lost his name. Oh, sorry, Hunter, spoiler. No, Gon's gonna come back after the time skip, and he's gonna have his fishing pole back. You don't understand?
He's gonna have a new net ability for it and everything.
Yeah, and his stuff like the Aesops, mostly Harriet, kind of like how they come to him because they thought we should look up to Clover, we should strive to do what he wanted, and then the thing is like Clover was wrong. That's why he died. He was incorrect about the people around him.
Yeah,
he tried to push away Crow and his bad luck instead of supporting Crow when he knew that worked.
Yeah, there's stuff to like.
Coco. I don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. I like her minigun though. I like how it's just a little person that turns into a giant. Yeah, that is cool. But like, Cordovan, this is another character that no one liked but me.
But she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. She's a fine like mid boss, like a mini boss before like the Alice arc. She's actually like a great springboard for like the ideas of like Alice's imperialism and like exceptionalism.
Yeah, it's really good. Also, that poster at the end of 8, when you see she used to be like a young little like Captain America Uncle Sam figure. Now she's like old and kicked off to this fucking country that no one cares.
That's just
it's very funny. Like, she's just like a funny old lady.
Yeah, like I think the one thing about her that I didn't like very much was just like how she like the epic Gurren Lagann reference, but like that's whatever, man.
It wasn't even a Gurren reference. It was just a shitty mech.
Yeah, it was a drill, but like when that episode came out, everyone made the connection. Everyone was like, "Oh my god, mech drill! Did someone say Gurren Lagann?"
If you want to do a good Gurren Lagann reference, do Kirby Planet Robobot. Go all in.
All right. What was his
that looks like a racism subplot character down there, doesn't it?
Like he's like they made like the White Fang like a weird cult, or like a sect of them a weird cult, which doesn't really help the look of the show at all. Like you saying like trying to fight the status quo means you're probably.
I think with them you could kind of bring up the thing where like, it's like these people are so full of hatred for the traitor, for like the what they see as the traitorous faunus, and for like humans, but we never see why they think it. Like, we know systemic racism exists, we know there's an ethno state to keep the faunus out, we say later on Adam was branded, but it's all like background fluff. The most we see is like the cops like semi-discriminating against Sun. We never like outwardly see why these people hate their positions this much. It
would have been very good to see more of that in volume 7 and 8, where classism is a huge thing, and like it came right after we see Adam's big huge face scar.
Yeah, because since we don't see it when Blake says things like humans didn't do this, and we see like how angry they are, it feels empty. Because like, yeah, Blake, we know humans didn't do it. Why would we think that? We've never seen them do anything wrong.
God.
Oh, is that another NPC? I don't know who that is.
I think that's one of the Tweedledee guys.
Oh, I don't. Oh, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Good for them.
Yeah, I don't care. NPC. That's one of Carden's best friends. NPC. Tweedledee or Tweedledum.
Oh, that's Tweedledum. Oh, we got Elm. Elm's
Elm's better than all these people. Yeah.
Is Elm better than... Elm is not better than Clover, I wouldn't say.
Yeah, I don't think she's better than Cordovan either.
No, yeah, Elm, just like the rest of the Aesops, has good stuff with the nationalism, or like her whole thing is like planting her ground, and her thing is like she has strong ties to like the physical body of her state, not the people, and that's her whole thing. She's the one who says, don't you care about Atlas? And she's the one who has to be told Atlas isn't the physical place. It's Atlas, right? I'm not dumb.
Yeah, it's Atlas.
Thank God. They have to be the one who says Atlas isn't the physical place, it's the people within it.
Yeah, it's a real, like, country versus the people within it narrative, yeah. Like, I'd say she's the worst of the Aesops because she has the least going on, but the Aesops in general, I think, are used very well, so even then,
besides that one yikes line from our boy.
Yeah, in fact, I'm gonna, like, put these two under Cordovan.
Oh, no. Yeah, because they actually have stuff going on. These two are just kind of funny.
Yeah, they're just fun to have. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Emerald. Emerald is
Chaos
fine.
Emerald. I trust somewhere in Charming, I think.
Yeah, no, Emerald is fine, because, like, at first, it's like, she's, like, kind of conniving and kind of murderous, and then we meet, and then we learn that, she just, like, wants Cinder's attention. Yeah, it's kind of like how Clover mostly only exists for Crow. Emerald really only exists for Cinder. Except the difference is Emerald was built up for several volumes before we knew why she existed. And then it was just, she just exists to betray Cinder because Cinder's bad.
Yeah, like one thing I like about Cinder again is like how like she has like 3 different underlings, like, for the course series, Mercury, Neo, and Emerald, and all of them leave her for different reasons. Like Mercury just never like had much faith in her. It's just like, all right, I'm just gonna switch to Salem because she's the bigger dog, and then like Emerald like was just neglected and like got nothing out of the relationship, so she just left, and Neo just straight up got thrown down a pit.
Yeah, and Roman and Neo both kind of did it out of like this is probably the best way to survive. She also kind of shows like the whole thing with how Cinder is a garbage leader, because for one, she clearly should be in a leadership position but works under Salem, and 2, for a leader she's terrible because everyone who works under her gets neglected to the point that they betray her, or she betrays them.
Yeah. I guess, like, Emerald has room to grow into more of her own character now that she's, like, with the good guys and all that.
I mean, I have my doubts would be cool.
Although, you gotta wonder, like, now that they have her, and, like, she's seen, like, Salem's, like, you know, hideout and all that, she's gonna be put in, like, a jail cell and is gonna be interrogated a whole bunch, isn't she?
Yeah. I guess you could, did they ever do, like, cool stuff with how she uses her illusions? Or is it just like she uses them? Like it never tied into her character in a cool way? Because it can.
I don't think...
Like with,
I can't think of like a big character moment where like illusions were like important to her motif. Besides like, you know, maybe her like using it to like break Mercury's leg, which like, you know...
And that was more like plot relevant.
Yeah, that was
like
plot
relevant to
like
Emerald as a character. Oh yeah, speaking of semblances not mattering. Hi, Blake. Fuck you. Oh, it's a shadow of myself. But then you grow and you still have it because semblances are poorly written because they don't evolve as much as the characters should.
Yeah, like
they
I guess like they should have found a way to like make
the speed of fairy tale magic.
I feel like maybe they should have made a way to make her clones more offensive, but like the thing is they did make ways for like how she uses dust with them.
But she was already doing it.
Yeah, she was already doing that. Maybe they should have like waited a bit and like held off on it until later volumes.
Yeah, it could be literally something as easy as like she can like have it like punch someone.
Yeah, like make her like make an actual shadow clone. Maybe that'd be cool.
Make her like kind of like it could be like oh, when she uses fire they can like explode forward, which would be how both Sun and Yang help to boost her forward. Oh wow,
that sounds like so pretty hard to
easy. Oh my god, because you know fire is like Yang and then the clone is like Sun to be good.
Well, so we got another racism boy here. So Finnick, I think his name was.
I think Fennec is a slightly more emotive one.
Yeah, was he the one who died?
Which one died? Did they both
I don't
die?
even remember. These two are such like nothing characters.
Oh, they're the same person.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh, it's Fiona. I like Fiona.
Fiona is very cute.
She's adorable.
She just has such a good design. Oh my god. That's literally it. It's just she has a very cute design. It makes me happy.
Also, her semblance is pretty neat. Like how she just fucking took the tank and like in her pocket dimension.
Oh, she has a pocket dimension. Let's go. That could tie into like the whole joke of like sheep's wool was like really dense.
Yeah.
All right, I think we were actually too mean to this boy the last time we talked about it.
Oh yeah, like Flint Cole. Yeah,
he's not nearly as concerning as those two are, because his concern
like the thing is his concern is like a meta thing where like, oh, if you know where the name came from, it's not really anything to do with the show itself. But if you don't, then he's an NPC. Yeah. Or is he a don't care because he like kind of I think don't care because like he does have an actual like fight with Yang and like he does have like a thing with Weiss like, oh yeah, your daddy crushed my daddy's dust shop, bitch.
And he shows up later in the training arc.
Yeah.
To job to like Oscar or whoever.
No, it was John. He jumped to John.
Oh, John!
Yeah.
All right, we got what's his name?
Fox. I don't
NPC.
care.
He
could be an NPC for all.
Yeah, he's no, because he's part of Coco's team. I guess he's a character. I don't care. We got Winter Maiden. She's like Amber, but slightly more interesting.
Yeah, like she has like the dementia going on, which like is just a nice little.
Yeah, and like she's still, and despite how crippled she is, she still has her sense of duty, which ties into Atlas again.
Yeah.
Oh no, we got Gira.
Bagheera!
Hi, Gira.
Bagheera has a very similar speech to Blake, but I felt like being more charitable to it. Like, okay.
Yikes.
Like, okay. People are going to judge us based on what the White Fang do, so we have to respond to that. Like, that's how I kind of took, like, okay, that's not fair, but that's how the humans are going to treat us, so we have to respond in kind to that. But with Blake, there's no ambiguity at all. It's just, no, you have a moral obligation to fight for the humans.
Blake. No, because like with Agira, you could point out how he went from the leader of the White Fang to the leader of the ethno-state created by the humans to keep Faunus away. You could be like, you could tie that into that, where it's like, oh, his whole thing is giving into human perceptions in a way that will benefit Faunus. Where like you could be like, oh, that's his character. He kind of rolls over to society, but he does it because you feel like he has to. But that's not what happens. That's just what could happen if RWBY could handle its racism subplot even slightly well.
Yeah.
I think he's better than the two twins, though, because at least he has, like, something going on.
Also, his wife is hot as hell.
That is very true.
Okay, Glinda.
Oh wait, no. I will say the one nice thing about Blake. I like how later on her ears. I like how animated her ears are. That's it.
Oh yeah,
that
is a nice touch. I'm glad they got so much better with the faces later on.
Glinda is like so boring that she almost belongs in Don't Care.
Yeah. Like, the thing is, I can imagine them doing something cool with Glinda when we get back to her, because now, like, you know, the plot has started, and, you know...
Yeah, but she isn't even, like, charming. She's, like, Oz's secretary.
Yeah.
And she doesn't, like, do anything.
I mean, like, one interesting thing that I can imagine is, like, obviously, like, Ozpin is, like, you know, trying to recruit fighters for, like, his inner circle or whatever. Like, right. I feel, like, at one point there was probably, like, Glinda was probably going to be, like, a maiden candidate at some point. Like, they could do something
probably.
Like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and no, like, her fight with Cinder in the first episode where she makes the big spiral pointy rocks looked very cool. But generally, I don't care much for.
Yeah.
Kind of lame considering
like,
she's
it's kind of weird that my favorite Glinda scene is just like that 1 5-second clip of her on the news, like, trying to repair the city but being overworked to death.
Yeah, I think that could lead to something interesting. Her thing of wanting to repair what's clearly gone.
Yeah.
She could, like, cling to the past.
Like, 4 volumes from now, we go back to Vale, and she's still there. Like, oh, Jesus, Glinda, do you want to take a break? Do you want to...
I guess you could argue it's kind of sad that, like, Glinda is seriously, like, the 4th RWBY character we meet in the main episodes. Because it's, like, RWBY, the shop owner, Roman, and then her.
Yeah.
And she's so lame.
Yeah.
We got the burning gods.
Okay, there's some things to appreciate about what they do, but their backstory in general is just so lame and underwhelming.
It's like they don't do anything interesting with it. It's like they take the fairy tale aspect too seriously, and it feels like I'm being told the most boring fairy tale I've ever heard.
Yeah.
They almost do cool things. Like, they're literally dragons.
Yeah, dragons are cool, so they will just go at the very bottom of charming, because, like, dragons...
And I like the little brother more, because I like his line where he's like, someone is finally praying to me instead of you. It's like, oh, something interesting.
Get out of my stuff, bro! Don't ruin this for me!
They team up, and it's like, oh, never mind.
Yeah.
We got background character.
NPC.
We got Harriet.
Harriet's great.
Harriet's better than...
Yeah,
get out of there. Yeah. Harriet's, like, the embodiment of, like, the violent patriotism to the point where she's almost murders Vi.
Yeah. And she almost, like I remember when they arrested, they were trying to arrest Team RWBY, like, Mary's like, come on, Harriet, we're not trying to kill them, and she's just like, no, we're murdering these kids.
Yeah, no, there's, like, the thing where she has to learn that, oh, Clover was wrong.
Yeah. Oh, another thing about that, like, I remember early on in Volume 7, they were like, oh, you know, as a team, like, sure, we like each other, but we're not, like, a family or anything. Like, you know, it's just a job at the end of the day, but... No, they ended up caring about each other. That was just a front, like, because, like, they're told, like, no, you can't get too attached. You can't let your emotions get in the way of the job.
I just thought of a cool way she works with RWBY, because, like, obviously Crow and Clover parallel each other. And Harriet and RWBY parallel each other. You could point out how, like, when Crow was in the Bronx, when he was, like, getting drunk and wasted, RWBY immediately knew that was wrong and wanted to support him. Whereas she followed Clover no matter how wrong what she thought he would say was.
Yeah. Harriet's great.
Harriet's a good character. Oh, yo! Is that who I think it is down there?
Hazel! Hazel! Oh my, I
love Hazel.
Oh my god. He has the coolest fighting style in the whole show.
Because he just punches you really hard and he shoves fucking drugs into his body.
He takes magic crystals and just dopes himself on it. Like, it's so awesome. Oh my god.
He's 8 feet tall.
4 feet wide!
Literally pure muscle. And then, like, alright, ignoring how he's the coolest character in the show.
He has gills, man. He has gills.
Quite literally. Ignoring how he's this cool character in the show on the mile. He has, like, a really basic character arc, but it's done really well. We're like, oh, he feels bad that his sister died, and he, like, challenges some of Ozpin's ideas in an interesting way. But then, over the course of the series, he follows Salem, who is even worse than Ozpin, and who has him do things worse than Ozpin would ever do. It's like, yeah, Ozpin sends childs into mortal danger. That's bad. But Salem made him torture a child, and then tried to kill, like, 4 right in front of him.
Yeah.
I like how obviously like it's not subtle when he says there's not going to be another like whatever his sister's name is.
Gretchen.
But the stuff up to that where he has to torture Oscar, and he's like he wants Oscar to give up. Which, if it was like Ozpin there, I don't think he would. I think he'd happily torture Ozpin for like several days while still smiling because it's Oscar. Oscar this is making me sad. It's a really basic thing where it's just like the child lover learns to abandon the other side, but it's still good. I like it. And when he fucking pops Cinder. Not Cinder, Salem.
Like when he just like punches Salem and there's all the blood comes gushing out of him.
It's so cool. He's so cool.
Yeah. Like I feel like he's not really done like compared to the other characters we're gonna put in Diamonds. I don't think he's like as interesting nearly, but you know I think it's
look
at how tall he is. He's 8 feet tall.
That is done well. Yeah, no, he has a full character arc that is done well, and then on top of that, he's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like, you could point out, like, yeah, it's cool how he's the strongest human, and the reason for that is literally just, he can turn off his pain, and he can punch real hard.
Yeah.
Like, one of the other strongest humans is Pyrrha, because she can take away your weapon. You can't take away Hazel's weapon. He has no iron on him.
Alright, NPC, the
Don't
Hound.
care.
The Hound
is a charming lad.
Yeah, he's neat.
He's less cute than Fiona, but he is a cute boy.
Yeah.
I like his little huffs and grunts.
Yeah. And also, of course, he is epic theory bait. That's always appreciated, right?
I'll tell you to tell me that he had silver eyes because I just didn't notice.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, RWBY says in, like, the scene after, anyway.
Oh, yeah. That was helpful.
Yeah. But, like, I guess one thing that's interesting about him is that, like, with, you know, RWBY's whole thing, like, you know, with her mom. Oh, her mom's right here. Yeah. Like, if RWBY's mom is, like, a grim, like, yeah. The thing is, here's my blazing RWBY hot take. Red Like Roses should not have been playing during the Nevermore fight. Like, you know, when they were taking the exam to get into Beacon.
That's fair.
Yeah, because, like, the thing is that, like, that scene's supposed to be, like, the birth of, like, Team RWBY and Juniper. But the song's just about RWBY and, like, her mother, which isn't really relevant to that fight at all. But, like, you know, if they like, brought,
they didn't have that many songs.
Yeah. But, like, if they brought Summer back as, like, a scary grim monster, that's the perfect time to play Red Like Roses.
Oh, that'd be really fun. I like that a lot. He literally just exists because he's cute and he might do something cool. Uh-oh. Oh, that's Ilia. No.
I almost want to put Ilia in Charming because, like, you know, like, she's probably, like, the best character in the racism plot. And, like, you know, oh, she's the closeted gay. So, like, you know, she's a chameleon. Wow, isn't that neat?
He's so bad. Because it ties into, again, the theme of relationship failure is worse than literal racial persecution, where she literally says, like, she makes it quite clear, I am loyal to the white fang. Why? Don't worry about it. We don't know. But, she also says, Blake, you were always looking at him. You never looked at me.
Why did they give, like, a fourth love interest? She didn't need it.
Blake, if you just gave me a little smooch, I wouldn't be a terrorist right now, but here we are.
Like, you have Adam, of course. Adam's very important to Blake's character. As terrible as it is, it's very important. Yang, sure, that can be, like, her fun, like, you know, when she gets into an actual good relationship. Sure, that's good. Sun, don't really need to be there, but, like, I like Sun. I like him when him and Blake interact. Okay, sure. Why is Ilia in love with Blake? Why?
Literally to support that terrible romance racism theme that shouldn't exist because it's bad. Whoa, that's a good character. Let's go.
Take my hand.
Ironwood is one of the most well done examples of a cautionary tale characters.
Yeah. Like, I'm surprised that RWBY, like, the show that has, like, this god-awful
this shit handles authoritarianism and militarism so well.
Like, they pulled off a Rossiu type character and didn't screw it up. Like,
and dude, it's not even like, usually comparing RWBY to Gurren Lagann is fucked up. But no, Ironwood is, like, generally just a really good character.
Yeah. Like, I get, like, he's morally ambiguous, maybe not until the end, but, like, he is to a point, and, like, when he does go over the edge, there's, like, reasons for, like, he's caught between a rock and a hard place, and, of course, like, his, you know...
snapping by killing bureaucrats at random.
Yeah. And, I love how like the design of the city sort of makes the path of least resistance to sacrifice the. No, wait, no, I don't like that, but
You like how it's written.
yeah. You know,
'Cause it's
like he's trying to play a numbers
Ironwood's
game with human
ideology-
lives, but because of the way the city's built,
Ironwood's ideology is inherently bad because it helps support the system in a way that fucks over the people that suffer the most even more.
yeah. Like Team RWBY's big plan is to abandon Atlas in order to save the people, whereas like Ironwood, it's like the other way around. Like,
Wait,
okay,
I gotta be right back.
like
My
it's sort of like the
fucking
what we
audio
talked
is
about, like Atlas exceptionalism. Like he thinks like if Atlas falls, the rest of Remnant has no chance. Like we can't let her take Atlas at any cost. Yeah. Oh, and also I was trying to say about the city structure, like he's playing a numbers game with human lives. So like, but like because the way the city's built, it, like with the big Alice floating in the sky, like the path of least resistance is to sacrifice the lower class, which is not good at all. But like you can imagine like maybe if he had more. I don't even know where I'm going with this anymore. I said it way better earlier. Anyway, Ironwood, Iron Daddy, love him, love him, love him. He's good. Shiki, you still there? Hey, we're back up.
Yeah, my internet.
Also, I checked the
definitely didn't
video.
start
It's
dying.
fine. Everything's going perfectly.
Yeah, my internet.
Right,
would
so I
never
guess
die.
we'll just talk about Ironwood again from the top.
Oh, okay, that's fair. All right, Ironwood is good because
He's great.
Despite RWBY not being able to handle racism at all, they can handle a military authoritarian state pretty well.
Yeah, like I was really surprised that RWBY, like this god awful show, managed to somehow pull off like a Rasu type character and not screw it up and like actually do the theme justice.
Yeah, and he also has like a lot of good stuff where like you could see like the slow build where early on he's like his militariness and like his iron heart kind of ties into Penny in a way where like he wants to have like a heart of steel. He wants like the roboticness, which is like he fully embraces getting a robot arm. He wants to keep bringing in robot troops, and all comes out of like fear. He's scared and he doesn't want to be scared, so he does that with military power.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties into RWBY villains having something to do with power. Cinder wants power to never feel powerless. Ironwood wants power to never feel fear.
Yeah. And like he finds out the way to tame power is to sort of just get rid of emotion and try and like focus on an objective at all costs.
Yeah, and it's like the whole Ironwood thing is good. It's like he's a stocky living creature, but he's made of iron. It kind of represents the city too, like this big iron fortress hovering over the pores.
Yeah. And like one thing I love is like prosthetic limbs, like for other characters like Yang and Cinder, like they sort of represent like scars or like sacrifices they made in the past. Ironwood would never blink to do that, but to other characters that's like a big thing to recover from, and like Ironwood would force that on everyone who works under him if he could.
You could see it because like with Yang, she had to spend a long while getting used to her arm, and with Cinder she's still struggling with it. Ironwood happily lost his arm and then did not even blink about getting a metal one. He's like, yeah, of course I'll have a metal arm. Why wouldn't I?
Like that's one thing that I feel like is a double-edged sword about like his idea of like telling the world about Salem. Like of course that's a good thing, but it also comes from this mindset that like all of Remnant has a responsibility to fight Salem, and so they should be ready to be sacrificed at any point should that give us the tactical advantage.
Yeah, but the cool thing is it kind of shows he's not doing it out of a place of like malice where like Cinder would sacrifice everyone for herself. He sacrifices everyone because he's willing to sacrifice himself.
Yeah. Like he's caught between a
there's no
rock and a hard
difference.
place, and like he just doesn't see a better solution because like because one of his big biases is that like Atlas exceptionalism, where he's like, okay, we can't let Atlas fall because this is like the one place that has the best chance of stopping Salem, but like of course because of that like he neglects the people.
It's kind of that same thing where like he's forced to cling to an ideal, and that ideal helps very little people.
Yeah.
Also, he fist fights with a gun, and then his final weapon is just a big gun.
It's a big gun.
It's a very big gun.
God, I remember
cool.
like that one final scene where he fought Winter, and like Winter says,
wasn't
"I will
with a
never
gun,
hesitate to
there's
fight the
that
enemies of
scene.
this country," and like Ironwood
it's so
just
good.
cries. He just cries
Yeah.
right there.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, he like kind of gets why people disagree with him.
Yeah.
And like also I love his descent into madness where it's like kind of sudden and scary, but like it makes sense. Like he shoots that random fucking bureaucrat and it's nuts. But then you stop and think and you're like, yeah, that is something Ironwood would do. And then that ends with him brutally murdering Weiss's dad after she agreed to save him.
Yeah. I remember one very controversial like decision was like when he decided to bomb like a Mantle, and everyone was just like, oh my god, they ruined Ironwood, like he's just an evil character now. But like in his head, Mantle was already lost because like it was so, okay, who can I save? Not Mantle. I can only save Atlas because of the way the city's built, so I'm going to just sacrifice Mantle anyway. Of course that's terrible, and that's why he's bad. He's playing a numbers game with human lives, but
that's why he died.
Yeah. Like, you know, he is like that did nothing wrong type of character, but yeah, he did nothing wrong, but it's not that simple. Like, there was a better way.
No, he did nothing wrong, as in, he did everything wrong, but he was not a bad, he was bad. He was not the worst. He had noble intentions. Yeah. And also, like, he kind of, like, represents a lot of problems with, like, Atlas in other ways, like the fact that he's the one who has to go down with the ship because he was the one who embodied Atlas the most. It wasn't Winter and Weiss's dad, even though he's terrible. It wasn't Robin who like embodied their desire for freedom. It was him. He was the one who embodied Atlas the most, and he was the one that died with it.
Yeah, like Ironwood has a huge ego. Like,
yeah,
despite
he does. He's a good character.
Yeah, I love him so much. Alright, who the fuck is this?
NPC.
Oh, it's the lizard man.
Winter's dad. Not Winter's, he is Winter's dad. So you see, if we bring up the Atom stuff...
Okay, like, as like a bourgeoisie lizard man who you're just supposed to point at and be like, yes, that's a bad guy. I sure do hate that guy. I can't wait to get his justice. Yeah, that he's good. He's perfectly serviceable as that.
And he's good at being like a shitty rich dad to Weiss and Winter.
Yeah. But
when you remember,
what's that on your face, Adam? What's that on your face? What's that on your face, Adam? Oh jeez, oh it sure does look like that big scar. What's that say? Schnee Dust Company? Oh wow!
It's almost like there's this giant aspect of his character that existed from us learning that Weiss was taught that racism was good because it hurt her company, and none of it is touched on because they dropped that fucking garbage plot the second they could, and it left certain characters just empty.
On one hand, I can respect the writers for being like, okay, we did not do this theme justice, so we'll just back away. Which, okay, all right, go ahead.
But
they chose the most awkward. They chose the worst time to drop it. This was the perfect time to maybe do some damage control, point the finger at this guy, and then like have just a mini slave subplot or something. I don't know.
Yeah, quite literally, just have like a little, like have Robin be like a faunus and do like some uprisings. That's not that hard. Oh, yay, a good character. Wait,
Johnny boy! Oh, I love John.
No, one quick thing before we go to John. Winter's dad is not worse than the fucking Fox brothers.
Oh, right, not yeah. He should, like, go up with Ilia, I think. Like,
he's not better than Ilia, but he's a good character.
Yeah, like, I think, like, the top of questions, comments, and concerns should be to the people, like, this could have been a good character.
This could have been a good character. They just had some dumb shit. Yeah. All right, John's a good boy.
Diamond. He's a diamond. Look at him.
Oh. Well, we don't talk about his haircut, but John's great.
Yeah. Like, he's like the thing that makes the first 2 volumes, like, watchable.
He's the best.
Like, if you did not show anyone, like, the name of the show or the openings, like, people might be convinced that he's the main character.
I could convince them from volume 1. Because he and RWBY have, like, almost equal amounts of screen time in the first few episodes.
It's like, wow, RWBY's like the Sasuke, and he's the Naruto.
No, he's just a really good embodiment of like the shield healer support type of character, but he also has the unique spin of he's also a leader, where like Jean has to learn the correct way to be a leader, and for him that's to support the people around him after he learned that they supported him through his failing upwards into Beacon.
Yeah, like you know, with Pyrrha, like it's first like, okay, Jean, you have to be ready to let people help you. Then his next step is, all right, how can I best help others? And then, like, you know, that eventually leads him to his semblance, which is just great.
Oh, and his weapons are good because, like, when he turns his shield into a bigger sword, he can't do much because his biggest strength is not defeating people. But when he
especially
upgrades
in like the
his
scene
shield
with Cinder, it does fucking nothing.
yeah, and when he upgrades his shield to a better shield, that's when he gets more use out of it because Jean works best when he's protecting people.
Yeah, he's
And
just
like
a
even
good
the way
boy.
he uses his shield is like a support item. He does it to combo Grim with his cool little uppercut slash.
Also, like the scene in Volume 2 where he wore the dress for Pyrrha is just like unironically one of the best scenes in the whole show, and they have that awesome dance number.
Like, when people want to say, "Oh, RWBY is good because it like doesn't have like toxic stereotypes and shit," that's actually an example. This is a Chad who rejects toxic masculinity to wear a dress and dance with his lady because he's a fucking cool guy. Also, like, he wears Pyrrha's armor, and Inherited Will is always good.
Oh yeah, that whole thing is sad in Volume 4. Where
His little training is very emotional.
yeah,
You can also point out, like, he's trying to, like, take on Pyrrha's role, in a sense.
yeah, like with trying to get the bigger sword and like try and be the better fighter, where that's not really where he excels at all.
And you can even point out, like, even when they're Team Junior, that's what I'm going to call it, he is more of a leader than RWBY is, because John is so naturally good at supporting people that even when he and RWBY both have turmoil, and he has more because Pyrrha meant way more to him than her, he's still the supporting leader role, because he's just that good.
Yeah, love Jean.
Good character, Jean. Love him a lot. I think he's better than Hazel.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Confusion. Alright, who's
Jin.
next? Oh, yeah,
Don't
his haircut's
care.
not very good, though.
I mean, she's hot, so I guess we could like put her.
Oh, yeah, Jin is hot. Too bad she's not funny.
Yeah, if only. Women can't be funny. What are you talking about?
Who's that?
One of the Mary Huntresses and NPC
Care.
Junior.
Yeah, NPC. He's funny because he's a pedophile.
Hell yeah! Alright, I guess we maybe like the top of Don't Care somewhere.
Yeah, and like his cannon that turns into a bat is kind of cool.
Yeah.
His
nightclub
Blake's
looks
hot
great.
mom. That's
Oh, yeah.
Blake's hot mom. Let's go.
Blake's mom has got it going on.
Yo,
She's all
she
I
doesn't touch
want.
the racism subplot. Let's go.
Blake, can't you see you're just not the girl for me? I know it might be wrong, but I'm in love with Blake's mom.
Is she as good as Fiona, where her attractiveness just carries her to charming?
Yeah. I'm glad that she's like not touched by the racism subplot. She's just hanging around it. Thank
She's
God.
just there.
And she wants to fuck Sun, obviously.
Oh, and it's very funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. Disappointing is what he is.
What's his name again?
Klein?
Klein. Yeah, that's his name. Don't care.
And unlike SAO's Klein, this one's actually disappointing.
Yeah. I remember you were talking about this before. Like, it would have been like way funnier if he was just like 7 people.
Oh, that would have been so funny.
Yeah. Guys, you work with CGI. Just copy his character models 7 times and have them march around.
It would be so funny when they show up to save Penny. They appear in like a single file line, and they walk in one by one. It'd be so funny.
Hi ho, do 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 do.
He's just like a basic butler character, like, "Hello, Miss Schnee. I'm here to support you."
This guy's an NPC. NPC.
Yeah, don't care.
Ren's dad has
an NPC or an I don't care.
I think I don't care because he has a function. He has a function that's beyond
He's
just
almost
being...
interesting because he's like the closest thing we have to an embodiment of the people who wanted to find a better home outside of like the academies, but they don't do anything with it.
Yeah, they don't. He doesn't have enough time to do anything. Frankly, he's dead.
What a shame.
Yeah. Little Miss Malachite.
She's fun, I guess.
Yeah, she's fun. I put her at the bottom of charming.
Yeah, fun little crime lord. Good for her.
I like purple. Purple's a nice
There's
color.
a better crime lord. We'll get to him.
Lionheart.
Lionheart is disappointing.
Yeah, I don't care about Lionheart.
He's good because, he's good. He represents the whole like cowardice in a good way. But it's just like when he's introduced on the same tier as people like Ozpin and Ironheart, you expect him to be good, like really good, and then he's just not.
Like, and even then, like the whole can't beat him, join him thing is done better with characters like Roman and Neo.
Yeah,
or even like Raven, who's like, you know, does the fear theme and gotta do what you gotta do to survive better.
Even Watts does that when he like crumbles to Ironwood.
Yeah. Lionheart they just did nothing interesting with the character.
Like
besides the bare
he
essentials.
exists and he does his role, but he's not interesting.
Yeah, like I'll put him at the top of don't care. Like he's better than Coco.
Yeah, but he's not like, he's not even like charming in any way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a fun
By
person.
Lionheart. Oh, you got
Maria. She's fun. She has her moments.
It's funny how her character model is way too large. So even though she's
like her head's like twice the size of everyone else's. It's a little weird.
It's so funny. You know, I like her stuff with Ruby, where she like teaches Ruby stuff, and it's nice.
Yeah.
She's a fun mentor, I guess.
Yeah.
That's about it. Her fight with the crocodile is kind of cool.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
Oh, we got Marrow.
I need you to fix any systemic issues.
Besides that one dog shit line, Marrow is a good character.
Yeah, he is. He belongs like up here near the top of charming. I think.
Yeah, because like the thing is, just like everyone else, his power represents like his stagnation, where he puts up with the status quo, and when he rejects it, he's able to see that his team is stuck to the status quo, and is able to like literally like visualize that by making them stay and be stuck.
Yeah, like he's like the bleeding heart of the Aesops. Like, you know, when they're trying to arrest the Ruby and the gang, he's like, "Come on, we don't want to kill these kids, Harriet." But like, because of that, because he's hesitating, because he's not committed to his cause, he doesn't fight to the best of his ability.
You could also point out like the dog thing also ties into loyalty, like military dog and all that. That's a common phrase.
But I mean, like, if we want to mix our metaphors, he's part of like an underclass. So like, where do we go? Okay, we don't talk about. Okay, NPC. It's the trans character. Hooray!
Oh, that's an NPC.
Well, I mean, she does more than all the NPCs. Like, she has more lines. And to be absolutely fair, she does have like this one interesting line where like say, okay, I used to be like an Atlas elite, but because I'm trans, they like wanted nothing to do with me and like kicked me out, which I guess is like another example besides Weiss of someone like being ostracized for being different up there.
You could do that in like a good, there are subtle ways to show discrimination in a world. An example is One Piece. We see that the Revolutionary Army.
That's not fair, please.
No, it's the best thing I can think of. No, because like in One Piece, it's never outright stated that the government hates gay people and hates women, but we see that the Revolutionary Army is largely made up of Okama and women, showing that they have a reason to fight against the oppressive government. Yeah. It's like, oh, cool. I know it's not fair to compare Ruby to One Piece. That's really fucked up. No, listen.
Like, oh my god, people were literally comparing these two to Fisher Tiger and Otohime. Like,
dude, I cried when Otohime died. If Blake died, I'd probably smile.
I'd clap. Okay, NPC.
Oh, the Malachite. I learned these are called the Malachite twins.
I guess like they have like neat designs. They'll go like
cool
at the top
designs, and they have a fun. When they fight Blake, they use like feints and shit.
You mean Yang?
It's kind of cool. Yeah, I'm very smart. Okay. We got Mercury. Somehow more boring than Emerald.
Yeah, I put him like under like these two.
Yeah, it's clear what his thing is. He's kind of just like a general, I don't care about the world, I'm edgy, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, and of course, like, he's just, like, I get that, like, a part of it is, like, he's trying to put up a front, because, like, you know, he did, like, sort of care about Emerald when, like, he told Tyrion to back off when he was taunting her, like, but, like, oh, I'm gonna be a big dog in Salem's new world order. I sure do hope they do something interesting with him, but they haven't done much yet.
Him and Tyrion together might be fun.
But do you remember, like, his backstory with his dad? And, oh, my dad was actually all for one, and he took my semblance.
It's like, that's like, I don't care. I think he just exists for, like, the people who really want an edgy character and want to cling on to someone.
I mean, he's kind of fun in the first few volumes.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of a prankster attitude, like that boom sound effect when he closes books.
Welcome to Tuxon's Book Trade.
Oh, and one of the only things I've ever learned from CBR, he's also based on like Hermes or something, right?
Oh yeah, that's neat.
Because Hermes is the god of Mercury, and that's why he has that shoe on, and that's why he has metal shoes. That's cool.
Yeah, that is cool. NPC Patreon OC. It's best girl.
She's not better than Cinder but she's my best girl. I like Neo very much.
Oh my god, I don't think there's a single person who's ever said I don't like Neo.
If you don't like
I've
Neo,
never seen one.
Weird. Because first of all, just from like a pure aesthetic perspective, her design is really fun. When she wears Roman's hat, it's adorable. The way she gleefully skips around during like pure murder is a good reference to the Clockwork Orange, while also just being charming. To make up for not talking, she's crazy expressive.
Yeah, and I love how like sometimes she'll just like use her semblance to like talk like, "Oh, what do you want here, Neo?" Like when Maria asks, and she turns into RWBY because she wants revenge on RWBY.
It's so cute, and then of course, she is so insanely strong, and it's really funny. Like when she just bullies Team Juniper.
Yeah,
it's like yes, hello, I have an umbrella, and then she like one-shots Blake's force field.
Oh, and even like on top of that, like she actually has like an interesting character going on, like because she's repeating Roman's mistakes by like she teamed up with Cinder. Like she was willing to fight Cinder at first, but after realizing, oh, she's got magic and shit, I can't beat that. I guess I just have to stick with her and hope I can get to RWBY instead.
Which kind of adds more meaning to her carrying Roman's will with his hat. She's also carrying all of his not very good ideas.
Yeah.
And hey, from the little bit we've read of the Neo Roman novel, I don't know how canon that is.
I have no idea.
The stuff there seems potentially interesting. I like her.
They really just made like the most pleasant character to watch.
She just makes me happy whenever she's on. Like, goddamn, was it volume 6 where I was bored out of my mind? Or was that 5?
It was 6.
Was that 6? Oh, whenever Neo showed up, that was like my one little sprinkle of joy.
Neon Cat, don't care.
She sure does exist.
Neptune.
Sun
is so cool. Neptune. Why is this goofball what he gets stuck
Neptune with? Will matter now that we're in the desert and he's from there.
Yeah. Patreon OC. Nora Valkyrie. Yeah. Wow, we got
Nora
something.
Isn't bad.
Yeah, I'd put Nora like above Emerald maybe.
Yeah, I like her more than Emerald.
Yeah.
She has good stuff.
Yeah.
Mostly just in volume 7 and 8 with like her whole it's kind of the cool thing where they turn like something that would normally be a criticism of the show and turn it into a character beat in a cool way.
Yeah, like Nora, like she's just like always the comedic relief. She's just always a pair with Ren. She has no character. Like that's kind of the point. Like I don't know who I am without Ren. I've been with him so too long.
And that kind of once again ties into the whole loyalty stuff with that arc, where like Ren goes and finds his loyalties outside of Nora, and Nora goes and finds things that she cares about outside of Ren, and it's very nice.
Yeah, and it even ends with like, okay, Ren, I still want to we're still in love with each other, but I'm gonna need some time. Could you wait for me?
Also, if she keeps her cool-ass scar, that'll look awesome.
Oh, yeah, I think they did say, like, Jean, like, tried to heal her, but he said, like, I can't get rid of those. I think those are going to stay.
Please, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. She's not that funny, though. I hate to break it to her.
You don't like Thunder Thighs?
It's not funny.
Yeah, I know, it's not.
I thought that was, like, a Volume 1 joke, not a Volume 7 joke.
Oh, my God.
We got an NPC.
You wanna know what it was? It was a RWBY chibi joke until they added to the show because it caught on.
Of course it was. All right, we got an NPC.
Ooh, like I like him. I like him.
He's like almost in. He's like, dude. He's not that good. He's like an interesting idea that's not really explored.
Yeah. I think this is a fair
it's not like they drop it while it's hot, like the racism theme. It's just like it's in the background and it's kind of cool and it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, like because like a lot of shows that use like inherited will as a theme, sometimes they forget how like history can play a huge awesome role in that, and like I just like that that's acknowledged.
Yeah, and he kind of just like, yeah, he's kind of just like the embodiment of like, oh, ways to be helpful to society other than fighting.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, and I love like this one conversation he has with Blake. Like Blake's like, "Oh, there's so much inequality in the world. I have to fight it." And he's like, "Okay, what's your game plan? How are you gonna do that?" And she's just lost for words. She doesn't know what to do.
Blake never has a game plan.
Yeah, because like her plan was like, "I'll become a huntress and see what I can do." But like, you know,
she literally hasn't solved anything.
Yeah. Because guess what? Like, it's not that simple. You can't just fight your way through systemic racism.
Because as our dog boy admitted, the systemic issues are still there. Yeah. As we saw several times during Volume 7 and 8, a lot of the poor people are faunus.
Yeah. Alright, Oscar. Oh, he's cute. He's such a cute boy. Lad. He's a cutie.
He's just like the embodiment of taking this wholesome boy and then just making him suffer.
He suffers every volume. Like, no, Volume 4, oh no, I'm having a voice in my head. Volume 5, oh no, this 8-foot-tall scary behemoth is beating me. And Volume 6,
everyone's yelling at me because of
what the hell, Ozpin? And like, clearly punches Oscar.
He didn't do anything. This poor lad. And
Volume 7, he gets shot by Ironwood and falls off of Atlas.
And I like his stuff with like his identity, where like he likes Ozpin. He wants to help Ozpin, but he also doesn't want to lose himself, which makes him not want to get help from Ozpin when he obviously needs it. And it's kind of cool.
Yeah, he's willing to struggle to stay who he is.
He's also just a good boy. Like, literally, he's like, "Okay, farm boy, you're going to have to help us defeat God." He's like, "Okay, I guess."
And
he's so sweet.
I love how he interacts with Ironwood. Like, that's great.
Because he kind of shows like a youthful perspective to kind of show that Ironwood is like losing it.
Yeah, like he's I'd say like him along with RWBY and Jaune are like the optimism characters, like the most optimistic and always like beacons of being positive. He represents
optimism specifically the best because he goes through so much shit for no reason other than literally bad luck.
Guess you could call me a bad luck charm.
Yes, you could say I'm Crow or we got Ozpin.
Okay, like the other reincarnations aren't on this list anywhere, so this is just like the immortal being that is Ozpin.
Yeah, who is somehow less interesting than Ozpin.
Yeah.
Well, he's kind of got the problem of that flashback is boring.
Yeah, like when it comes to his backstory, I have no emotional attachment to that at all.
It's kind of just like, oh yeah, I get it. All right. I like mostly, like, I like his stuff with Oscar and how he talks with him. I like how clearly, like, he kind of gets why people are upset with him, but he also understands, like, he's like, yeah, I did it for a reason.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's compelling or if he's gonna be compelling later.
Yeah, I don't quite know. Like, one thing I do like about him is that, like, oh, I have to have faith in humanity and, like, help them succeed, but, like, at the same time, he hides things from them. Like, oh, it's a contradiction. That's it.
Oh, that kind of ties into the Wizard of Oz thing, both in the man hiding in the sense that he's hiding a lot, and also the man hiding in the sense that we never truly see Ozpin. He's always hiding in someone's body because he doesn't have a choice. Well, yeah, just remembered another reason I don't like Jin. Back to her. Unlike cool Chad Blue Boy who pranks your ass, you can give Jin the most vague question in the world and she'll give you the entire history of the planet. Terrible G.
Hey, you want a 30-minute lore dump, kid?
What is Ozpin hiding from us? Oh, will you see?
Okay, so I guess like we can leave Ozpin and Charming, maybe?
Yeah. I don't know if that lady is better than Elm and Dog Boy.
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
I think they do better jobs at representing the nationalism.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is she better than Nora?
I don't care.
Yeah, okay. Penny!
Penny.
I like Penny.
Adam Tier! Put her in Adam!
She's a real girl, Mocha! She's a real girl!
She's not.
She has a soul. She literally has a soul.
The only time she became a real human being is when she got deaded. All right, she had to be summoned by magic, alright?
It was not Mocha. They just took away the robot parts and there was a girl underneath. It's a epic metaphor.
The only redeeming part of her character is that she can say the N-word. I'm tired of it. Put her in Adam.
She does have a 50-year-old person of color soul within her, so...
Yeah. Oh, another cool thing about Penny that I forgot to mention is John fucking kills her.
Right. Wow, can't wait to see how that ends.
Well, I think that's kind of like Jean, the last time he was there for it's kind of like Jean's evolution of Salem attacks. The first time Salem stabs someone that he cares about, they fucking die. The second time Salem stabs someone that he cares about, he heals them. The third time Salem stabs someone that he cares about, he has to stab them himself and finish it. It's kind of like the evolution of support, where Jean goes from supporting individuals to supporting his team to supporting everyone by killing Penny. As far as that is, poor Jean has to murder Penny.
Oh my god. One thing I really like about Penny is that, like, of course, like, you know, for Atlas, like, they're all about the machines, like, trying to, like, be as efficient as possible. Penny was built to just be, like, a soldier. But, like, you know, in rejecting being a machine, and she becomes a real boy. She's a real boy.
Yeah. And
she finds humanity.
Yeah, and like her whole thing of like, it's kind of cute how like you can also see it as like, this guy cared so much about this thing he made that he put his soul into it, and it literally became a living thing, and that's very nice. Yeah. And like I made the no strings on her joke, but yeah, the fact that she doesn't have to control her blades with strings with the maiden powers is nice. And she has her whole thing with duty, where she like is struggling with like the duty of a maiden. You can also point out how, like, Watt's curse on her is, like, another Pinocchio callback to, like, how Pinocchio was tempted by, like, smoking and gambling.
I've heard, like, readings that, like, that's supposed to be, like, analog for suicide for some reason.
Well, I like my Pinocchio It's kind of like instead of a donkey man telling Pinocchio to do the drugs, it's Watts telling her to nuke a beacon. It's the same kind of thing. Like, there's this presence trying to like argue their humanity and trying to make them give it up in a negative way. It's good. I like Penny.
Penny's great.
And you date her in that one thing we played.
Yeah, Penny's great.
What's next?
It's Penny's dad. I'd put him in Charming. His best scene is just when he like takes over Penny's body and his voice starts coming out of her.
Yeah, like he's good. He's kind of just like a very happy, wholesome inventor who cares a lot about Penny, and it's wholesome and nice.
Yeah, he's just a sweet old man.
Okay, we can talk about. Here's the thing: the whole thing about the black guy creating a white daughter and then giving her
no, don't please, Jiki, don't talk. Leave the racism alone. Leave the racism alone.
However, my counterpoint is I don't think they intended any of that. I think that was all completely by accident.
Yeah, I'm totally with that because they definitely designed Penny long before they designed this.
No, they made Penny and then they were making him. They should be like, oh, he should be black. That'd be nice representation. And then they didn't realize the implications.
We made a terrible mistake.
I think that was entirely on accident, so I can't shit on them.
I'm willing to look past it, but when people say that they think that's creepy, I can't argue with that.
Yeah, my counterpoint is I don't think they did it with any malicious intent. I think it was entirely coincidental.
White is the default. Never forget. Okay. Don't care. We don't care about.
He's so boring. Right? No.
All right.
I guess he and Blake's Yang's dad and the other guy having their little hunter story thing was fun. I guess that's about it.
We'll put him like with.
You still don't care about him though. He's still lame as hell.
Pyrrha. We like Pyrrha, right?
Oh, what are the only good characters from the first 3 volumes?
Volume 3 is Pyrrha's whole volume. Like, she's so good.
And she's really good. Yeah. Well, no, the first 2 volumes are Pyrrha being like, Jean, I clearly want to sleep with you, please. And then he's like, huh? You want to train me? I don't understand. And then she's like, Jean, I want to go to the dance with you. And he's like, oh, you want to dance with me? It's like, Jean, no.
Well, anyway, Volume 3, she's really good. It kind of...
she has a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, it kind of feeds into, like, the sort of identity thing with Oscar. Like, she doesn't know, like, if she's going to come back out of this maiden thing, like, being herself, considering all the weird tech thing going on. So she has to make a decision, like, do I want to, like, fulfill my destiny, help as many people as possible become the best fighter possible, or like, but what's not gonna happen? How am I gonna change? Is this like how I want to get there?
And like her fear of tech is like embodied with the Penny fight, where like Penny is the tech that she doesn't fear, and it kind of shows that like because Pyrrha doesn't understand the tech, it won't go well with the scene when she fucking dismembers Penny. No, and like she has other good stuff. Like her whole thing with Cinder is like she made up her mind too late.
Yeah.
She only decided once everything had already gone to shit, so she was just trying to make up a mistake that she couldn't, and she died.
Yeah. I guess like
RWBY's
one interesting parallel between the two is that like
deaths.
Cinder wants power for herself, whereas Pyrrha, like, it was always about other people with Pyrrha. Like, she always wanted to help others with whatever power she had.
But then you can also point out that even with that, she's still... You could even tie this into Jaune. Jaune wasn't able to be a good support yet. Ren wasn't able to be open with his emotions yet, and Nora was just tied to Ren. So she wasn't able to rely on them when she needed them, so she had to go and do something alone, despite doing it for everyone.
Yeah, I think Crow even once said, like, oh yeah, you're carrying your whole team, you know that, right?
Yeah, she was at that point.
Yeah.
I'd say my only gripe with her is that her voice actress makes her sound like she's like Starfire brain level when she's supposed to be like super intelligent.
Yeah, she's supposed to be like a straight A student.
She sounds like she doesn't. She sounds like she doesn't know what a banana is. Not because she's stupid, but because she's never seen one.
Yeah, yeah, because Starfire alien. I get it. Yeah.
It's not. It's fine. It's just Crow's a good character. Let's go.
Let's go. We love our bad luck charm.
He's better than Clover at the very least.
Yeah. I'm Harriet though. I don't
care.
All right.
Just those two. Crow's good. His foreshadowing of his semblance is one of the few really cool instances of RWBY foreshadowing.
Some people will really argue with you on that. Like, they'll look into the song lyrics and be like, hold on now, mister. Look at these lyrics, and look what happens in the show later on.
Hard counter. I couldn't even hear what they were saying.
Yeah, Crow. I like Crow. Like, he's just, very lonely boy, depressed boy, and he's got to learn to not be lonely anymore.
Ozpin is really good, where like Ozpin was the one person who he could rely on, the one person who gave him his wings with the fucking bird shit. Ignoring how dumb that is. And that's why he's the one who feels the most betrayed by Ozpin. Because, like, as Mocha said earlier, Crow feels unreasonably mad, and he is. It's because it's so personal to him that he feels so angry and feels so betrayed, because Ozpin was the first person who gave him, like, meaning.
Yeah.
And yeah, his stuff with Clover is good, and like trying to reconcile his bad luck. His stuff where he's just depressed and drunk.
I also like the stuff with RWBY, like in Volume 4, where she's trying to help him, but like, no, you don't understand about semblance. But like, of course, with spending more time with RWBY, he like eventually starts like, trying to stay away from drinking and all that, which is actually a good thing in the long run. So even though it was hard to like start hanging out with other people, like it eventually became a good thing for him.
I can point out this is actually one of the few good instances of RWBY's whole family beyond blood thing. He's biologically related to Yang, not RWBY, but he is way more.
He's not the step uncle. He's the
Yang.
uncle who stepped up.
Yeah, because he is way closer to RWBY than he is to Yang, and that's kind of nice because they don't do a lot with found family. That's one of the good examples.
Yeah.
Well, we got
Raven.
I like Raven. I don't like her design, but I like Raven.
Here, I think.
Yeah, she's we can put her above Fiona because she's an actual character.
Yeah, alright. Fiona's like a good like benchmark. Okay, are you here because you're an interesting character with stuff going on, or are you here because you're just kind of fun?
You just make me happy. Yeah. Raven has good stuff. You could even point out like how she uses ice powers as her main when she does the fighting, and that like ice is like a very common stagnation thing and an isolation thing, and she's isolated and stagnated.
Yeah. I love her semblance and where it's like, oh, I ran away from my responsibilities, but no matter how far away she runs, like she can always like go back to the people like she's attached to. And she can't just cut them off so easily. And as people point out, her semblance could be insanely good, but because she's so closed off, it sucks ass. Yeah. Like there's like three people I think that she had a portal to. Crow, Tai, and Yang. That's it.
Literally it. And like, I don't even know if she can portal to Yang anymore.
It is kind of interesting because, like, in Volume 9, they're going to be in, like, some separate dimension or planet or
and
whatever.
And that will probably be how they get out.
Yeah.
Raven's probably going to have some development where, like, she generally cares about Yang and wants to see it.
Yeah. And one thing I like about the whole family theme with the Raven is that, like, when Yang first finds her, Raven's like, oh, of course you only come when you want something from me. But by the end of the volume, Yang's, like, willing to take responsibility for her turning her back, like, okay, leave the vault open, I'll take the relic, you don't have to close it, we'll just figure it out, you go run away, you coward.
It's also kind of cool, like, all the ways that she, like, opposes Yang with, like, you know, different hair color. She's a lot paler than Yang. She uses ice mostly, whereas Yang uses fire. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
To the point where when we saw her, we thought, when Mocha and I saw her, we thought, oh, is that RWBY's mom? Because it's the same color scheme.
Yeah, I really like Yang's line, oh, you're powerful, but that doesn't make you strong, because, like, it sort of ties in with Cinder, like, they're both just sort of grabbing power for themselves, but, like, how are they using that power?
Yeah,
not very
I think
well.
Raven will definitely get better. I think by the end of the series, she could easily be in compelling.
Yeah, but when she dies and she gives Yang the maiden power and Yang goes Super Saiyan, it's gonna be so awesome.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Patreon OC.
All right, Ren. I like Ren.
Ren. He belongs up here with Nora. Like, look at these two.
He's better than Nora.
Yeah. Like, I like how he tries to awaken a justice and, like, because, like, he wants to be like Ironwood and the Aesops, like, oh, we have to be logical about
like
this. We gotta suppress our emotions and think logically about this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's really cool because, like, Ren's whole thing is he suppresses his emotions the whole time, but then when he revenge kills the monster that kind of traumatized him, he reawakens to his emotions. He feels rage, and then he feels love and starts dating Nora. But then when he wants to become robotic again and tries to act like the Aesops, he and Nora have turmoil again because he's no longer in a state where he can feel his emotions. He's another cool use of his semblance where, like, he's like opposed to his semblance, and I'd love if his semblance could evolve and he could make people feel other things. That'd be cool.
I mean, that sort of sounds like kind of like dicey territory because, like, oh, can Ren just mind control people now? Like, that seems like a pretty insidious power to have.
He makes you feel kind of high.
Yeah, like, because, like, I feel like that's not a good idea because, like, that can become, like, insidious. Like, oh, what if Ren just, like, makes Nora feel happy all the time so that she'll never want to leave him? And, like,
I forgot. I don't think the RWBY writers could handle that with, like, a lot of grace.
Yeah, I don't think so.
That's a very touchy subject that you have to handle very well.
Yeah. I mean, I kind of like how, like, he can, like, see emotions now because, like, he has to, like, acknowledge, like, this thing that I've been trying to ignore is actually pretty important if I want to, like, keep this person in my life.
Yeah, that was really good. I like Ren. Ren's a good character. Yeah. It's funny that his hook into lunge attack has never worked.
He uses it so much. Like, it's his opening move and it never works.
It's so sad. It's so sad.
One day.
Yeah, we got the guy who Cinder murdered,
Rhodes, I think his name was.
Yeah, because he's like,
don't really care, but he can go like somewhere near the top of don't care.
He's fine. He could literally be a silhouette, and his point would be the exact same.
Yeah, he's just there to, like, show, like, oh, there was a time where Cinder could have maybe been a good person. This was, like, her one opportunity.
And the sad thing was she was already too broken by then. And killed him. Oh yeah, by the way, cool thing about Cinder, glass slipper. Cinder uses shattered glass. That's cool.
Yeah, they point that out like a dozen times. Like, oh, she fights with glass.
Look at cool though. Yeah.
Robin.
Robin should have been a Faunus, and she's also too perfect.
Yeah, she's very agreeable in, like, the least interesting way. Like, I get, like, it's kind of, like, satisfying to see, like, oh, she's the lie detector. It's literally her job to point out, like, other people's bullshit, which is nice, but
the point is she literally is just, like, correct the entire arc.
Yeah.
And she doesn't even do that much. She's just, like, in the background yelling, "Why are you booing me? I'm right," the entire arc.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah, she's all right. Yeah. I like her more than the gods easily.
She almost does a terrorism, but Blake and Yang stop her, which I guess ties into Blake's fucking character.
Yep.
I hate Blake so much.
Even though Blake ends up fighting the Aesops like two episodes later.
Yeah, we don't talk about Blake, okay?
Roman! Oh, I love Roman.
Love him. He's like Team Rocket. He makes me happy.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so good. Oh, I love it. Before the show was able to like pull off like decent character writing, Roman was just the best character for how fun he was.
Yeah, like, sorry, Red, I love him so much. He makes me happy. And hey, from his backstory that we've read, I really like the little bit of his backstory that we've read.
Oh yeah, when he was literally just like that whole description of him just beating a guy up and mugging him.
Or like, that's one thing that I think that's one of the few things Roman and Cinder have common. They like tearing down people who have more power than them.
Yeah.
The difference is Cinder does it because she doesn't like feeling powerless. Roman does it because he, that's like his one little joy in like survival is like tearing down people who are like a threat to him because his whole mindset is survival.
Yeah.
Which he then passes down to Neo.
Yeah. Look at the hat. I love that.
Also, I like how their like relationship, or at least from what we know, is so ambiguous that you can interpret it however you want.
Yeah.
I interpret it the correct way, which is that he's like a friendly little mentor figure, and that they get along well, and it's cute.
I like to think like he's like a big brother, like an uncle, like and like you know, yeah.
It's nice, and he's just funny and charming. His fight with Sun is hilarious in the best way.
Yes, the gun chucks.
Mm-hmm. He just rides a mech and murders like a highway of people.
Yeah. Based Roman.
I like Roman a lot.
NPC Ruby Rose, the main character. Wow.
She's more compelling than Clover.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe even Harriet.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like Harriet is just like one small cog of a greater authoritarian message.
Yeah. The thing is about Ruby is that they for the main character of like a what's like 8-volume show now, they did not do enough with her.
Yeah, in volume 1, she acted as like support to Jaune and Weiss's character arcs.
Like I get like 2, it's like a coming of age thing. She has to like grow into her own as like a leader. Like okay, fine. Like it's not they don't do anything. They don't do it very well, I think, but it's there. Volume 2, I don't think anything really happens.
I think in Volume 2 you could argue like her whole thing is I looked up to huntresses because like she asks why did she want to be a huntress, and then they all fail and everyone almost dies and they're saved by their seniors. It's like that's what a senior huntress. Funny to think that Coco was supposed to be like someone you should look up to. That's very funny.
This jobber down here.
At that time, she was like, it was like these are like the senior hunters that you're and like the fucking like the glasses man. These are the people that you were striving to be.
Yeah.
It was like kind of nice, and like yeah, her haircut to look like Crow is cool.
Volume 3 like was just like she lost Penny and Pyrrha now, and they're like, and she says the line keep moving forward, and that's what it's all about, baby.
She has her protection stuff, and that's good.
But yeah, like I really like the silver eyes and how like because you know Ruby's an edgy, lighthearted show most of the time, but it gets really edgy. Like to test the optimism of the characters, and like of course like you know with Ruby's whole thing like it's fueled by like love, like you gotta think about what's worth protecting in this world, and then like you know that'll help you protect the world.
And I guess one thing you can point out with her and Harriet is Ruby's thing is she's able to take people with her. That's her evolution. She doesn't she's able to go fast without leaving people behind.
Yeah,
and that's good.
Yeah.
The way she fucking sticks her scythe into the ground to do the sniper rifle shit is very cool, and it makes me happy.
Yeah. I think like with the grief thing, like they haven't done quite enough. Like it's just like I'm gonna carry the world.
Think about her mom.
like they could do something interesting with Summer now that she might like come back as a Grimm, and like of course like what I'm excited for Volume 9 is Neo, because like Neo has, like Ruby is now the target of Neo's like anger and grief over Roman.
They're stuck on an island together.
Yeah, and like that could be an interesting talk no jutsu. I'm down for that.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Ruby is like a well done character who, yeah, like obviously her arc isn't done, but there should be more to it than there already is.
Yeah, like the show's just so long at this point. Like, come on.
Like, you can explore it more.
Yeah.
Like even in small ways, like Luffy. Oh no, One Piece again. I'm sorry. Luffy in the first 100 chapters of One Piece. His characterization is like small things. We learn that he values treasures, he values friends. We learn his idea of what it means to be a man and a pirate, and we see like a few of his flaws. Like he is like so powerful early on that he views everything as a game, because the second he gets serious, he stomps.
Yeah.
Which is like his freedom. He's able to bring freedom to everyone because he's so strong. Ruby in like the first like that'd be like the first 5 volumes of RWBY. Is like the first 3 is like I guess equivalent to like Arlong Park. Is like starting to be a character. And her leadership stuff is just generally not as good as Jaune's.
Yeah. Like, she has room to grow into a far better character, but, like, again, like...
I believe in her.
For the main character, like, you know, you could have done way more, I think.
Yeah, she's fine. Alright. I still like her, though.
Patreon.
Oh, yeah. Who the hell are you?
I don't even know who that is.
Who looks familiar, and I don't know why.
I think this is one of Sun's teammates.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to stop recording for a sec.
Alright. Sense, because it's like... It's him perfectly explaining his ideology and how he wants nothing more than to do the most brutal things he can to survive, but because he emanates such brutality, of course a Grimm eats him, but it's lame.
Alright, I'm back and we're recording again.
Alright. Mocha and I are talking about little thing to say about Roman, just a smidge.
Yeah, I got a bit of it.
Yeah.
Alright. Salem.
Is it recording again?
Yep. Salem gets like memed on a lot for like having like a weak motivation and all that, and it's true. Like I feel no like emotional attachment to this character or like where her story's gonna go.
Can like represent grief better, she'll be a better foil for RWBY, because her whole thing is like she handled grief in the worst way possible and declared war on the gods.
Yeah. And also, like, you know, she's immortal, so death means nothing to her. And because the only person she ever cared about is Ozpin, who's going to keep coming back forever and ever, death means, like, nothing to her, basically.
I think another interesting thing is, like with Cinder, you can tell she understands the people that she's manipulating. With Salem, it's unclear how much she even gets them. Like, does Salem know... Like, Salem probably gets that Cinder would kill her, but I don't think she understands how ready Cinder is to absorb her. Like, it feels like Salem is, like, manipulative, but because of, like, her age, she doesn't fully understand the people she's manipulating in, like, a sense, and I like that.
Yeah. I do like how whenever she's angry at them, it's like, she just acts like an angry mom.
Yeah, it's funny.
Like, I love the scene where she flips over the table like, that's not fair, is it?
Yeah, I like her stuff with Ozpin, where the way they're immortal, Ozpin is forced to interact with people, whereas Salem isn't.
Yeah. Like, every time Ozpin dies, he has to, like, change a little bit because he's getting a new soul every time.
And he understands, like, so many walks of life. Like, Farmer Boy Oscar, for example. The Silver-Eyed family. Whereas with Salem, she only interacts with people who agree with her. In that sense, she's created a safe space.
My safety space. Oh, if you don't agree with me in the comment section down below, your comment will be deleted by a curator, and I will not see it.
Hell yeah! Whereas like Ozpin is kind of forced to like see the world as a whole.
Yeah. And of course, like, she's, like, just immortal in the sense that she never ages, never dies, never changes, which is nice.
Yeah. And of course, like, you know, the Grimm transformation is very obvious. She's completely embracing her negative emotions.
Yeah.
You know, simple stuff.
Yeah.
Not as cool as Roman when he embraces his negative emotions, but then gets eaten by a Grimm and it's lame.
Jaune's sister, I guess it's not an NPC, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh, look, it's Sun's teammate Scarlet, and he's an NPC.
Captain Hook!
I don't think he's Captain Hook.
I'm sorry.
If they're making Captain Hook character, they're gonna give him a big-ass hook for a hand, obviously, right?
Look, dude, yeah, they will. Dude, is that the #1 NPC of all time?
Yo! We got Bandit Boy!
You're so funny.
Oh my god, you remember when Yang punched him and he awakened his gum fruit and he just bounced off?
So funny. He's a funny character. He's just like... He's kind of like if Roman only existed for like a chapter and was like grimy instead of like dapper.
He's just a comedic goon.
Yeah, he's so funny. I like him a lot. Yeah. He's the best NPC by like a mile, but he's not charming.
Yeah,
he's literally just an NPC who's just kind of funny.
Yeah. the gum fruit. Yo ho ho, we took a bite of gum. Ooh, speaking of
care
pirates.
About the captain. Besides his anti-dragon cannon.
His anti-dragon
nothing worth
cannon
noting
is
about him.
cool, but is it cooler than Coco's minigun?
No, it's not. It's
Alright.
just a funny name when he says it. I don't know what the exact
Bring out
word
the heavy
is.
cannon.
It's so funny. That's about it. We got this absolute king single-handedly holding up Beacon's entire.
This is like a
economy.
literal NPC we're ranking right now, but
Yeah, but he's a good NPC.
all right, charming.
He's a charming NPC because his whole
He's better
thing
than
is
the
like
gods. The gods are going to be the top. Yeah.
The joke where he runs every store in Beacon is really funny.
Yeah.
Well, except for the one bookshop where that panther got mugged by Mercury.
Yeah, but I mean that's plot relevant. This boy's never going to touch the plot. He's going to stay miles away from it.
He's just funny and feeble, and I like him, and he makes me happy.
I hope that whenever we go back to Vale, like he's going to be back. I
Yeah.
really hope so.
Oh, I mean, him and Glinda are working together.
Oh.
Man, dude, no, I've said, what if hypothetically the evil racist and the ex-boyfriend were one character, and then the Malcolm X character was someone else? Like
Yeah,
maybe
you could have
this
like
one.
maybe done something with her.
Instead
I
of Adam just killing her and all the other
I
fawns.
can't prove it. I can't prove it, but I swear they retconned how Aura works just so they can kill her without a fight.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh my
It's
God.
so lame. It's just like killing her was literally like them killing the plot line.
Oh my God. And like they even had her fight like in Adam's character short, like after like in volume 6, like but, so
Make
you're
up
gonna
for
show
the
her
fact
fighting
that
anyway.
they
Why not just
wasted her.
have her fight Adam? Just have
Yeah.
her fight Adam, please. That would have been at least been a cool fight, right?
Like, yeah, at least have her show off her ideas a little. Where she's like she could talk about how much they've been forced to suffer and stuff. Also, his design is good.
Yeah, like the thing is, like they're both like they're supposed to be both be like violent. Of course, Adam's supposed to be more violent, but like, how is Sienna different? Please tell me
We
why.
don't get to see is the annoying part because they don't show. That's the weird thing. They don't show us anything when it comes to the fauna, so we don't understand them.
Yeah.
It's bad. Oh, we got this guy who gets shot in the head.
If you think I'm just gonna stand by and let you do whatever you want with Atlas, you've got another thing coming, sonny boy.
Yeah, we forgot to. I don't know if we mentioned this. Marrow has a boomerang, and that's cool.
Oh right, yeah, that is cool.
Good for you, Marrow. Summer Rose is not a character.
I can put her like somewhere in Don't
I
Care.
will care soon.
Yeah, she's like just Ruby's unexplained backstory. But I mean, I guess we know all we need to know, really. Like, oh, she loved her mother and her mother died, but she's willing to like.
And
move
based
on
on her
and, like-
name, she was probably, if not a maiden candidate.
Although I guess that does raise the question: if she was like the last maiden, like why would who would she give the powers to? Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. Ruby is secretly a maiden. She hasn't awakened yet.
Oh my God, I'd hate it.
I'd laugh so hard if she had a third secret power. That'd be really funny.
Like again, they can do something really interesting with her. Like if they ever get to like Team Stark's backstory or whatever. But
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
she
That'll
is
all
just
be fun.
Ruby's motivation at the moment.
But currently, she's nothing. Here we got Sun.
The gunchucks.
All right, so Sun is basically like, all right, what if we had a Faunus who represented discrimination well by just being like harassed by the police, and then after that he's just like a positive presence in Blake's life during her worst character arc.
Yeah, I'd put her like in compelling. Like, yeah, I would.
Is
Because
he-
like
yeah,
the thing,
he's-
like I like how like Blake's like, oh, I have to run away, make sure none of my friends get. But I was like, no, it's okay. Your friends are willing to like do stuff with you, so let them. I like that.
yeah, and his gunchucks are fucking awesome.
Yeah, I know.
The
The Monkey King, baby.
Yeah, his clones are pretty neat. Where it's kind of like he talks about how he abandoned his team, and you kind of see that's because he's like a one-man team. That's even seen with his weapon, which is like one staff that breaks into several. Something could be done with that. Because we're obviously going to see him again. We're in the Sand Arc.
Yeah.
He's there.
I guess like one thing that I always didn't like about like the Volume 1 finale was that it was just about like Penny and like Sun, who like just sort of came out of nowhere.
Oh,
But I guess like in the
yeah,
long term, like Penny and Sun ended up becoming like way more important characters than I imagined.
Yeah, and Sun will hope. Lamest thing about Sun, he got less jacked.
Oh, sadly, that's just
Hazel grows gills, and Sun loses his abs. I feel bad for him.
yeah.
Like, he is kind of interesting because it's kind of like he's like this overwhelming positive force, despite being a Faunus who is openly mistreated.
Yeah, he's great. I like him.
Like, no, if they have the balls to bring the Faunus plotline back, they'll do it with Sun.
Yeah, that could be cool. Like, just have him be like, "Hey, man, racism, that's no good," and then just have him kick someone. Yeah, like that would be better than everything down here.
Yeah. You could literally just make me go to his town and we see like a little bit of racism and he's like, guys, chill out, let's be buds, and then that's it.
Like, of course, that's not like a great way to do the subject, but it's better than coming back here, isn't it?
Yeah, see how Sun is not there.
Like, now that like the racism plotline, now that they're scared to touch it, what the hell is Blake gonna do?
I mean, she had her romance shit with Adam, but that was so messy because the racism was there.
Yeah. And, like, now she's going out with Yang, and, like, I guess they can do something with that relationship.
Yeah. I guess we talk about, Blake learned to have her friends support her, but I don't care, because in the bigger context, she learned that from the Faunus learning to all support each other to not be discriminated against because they deserved it. I hate it so much. It's because it all ties back. Alright, this guy's a Chad who fucked his entire team, including Crow.
Hell yeah.
And you can't convince me otherwise.
We do know that Crow is gay.
Yeah, you can't... Dude, if he fucked the other two, why didn't he fuck Crow?
Bro. This guy was all over Crow, and Crow liked it. Like, of course, Taiyang fucked this
those
guy.
two did not fuck.
And, like, I remember in the back, like, when they were drinking with, some of the teachers, he's like, yeah, I convinced Crow to wear a skirt, man. Bro, I want to see that Dojin right now. I want to see the Dojin with Crow in a skirt and, like, Taiyang right there. Hey, buddy, you look nice in that skirt, don't you?
Yeah, no,
really shows off your legs.
Yeah, I like him. He's a good supportive dad for Yang.
Yeah. Like, I like the speech he gives to Yang.
You kind of forget he's Ruby's dad.
Oh, yeah.
And that's funny.
Ruby only has two parents, a dead mom and the dead uncle, who's secretly her dad, because I read the song lyrics, and in one of the song lyrics it says, you don't want the burden of my name, confirmed, Crow's Ruby's dad. Jeez. Confirmed.
Well, no, there's a lot of people point out Raven and Crow both look more like their shared parent than he does. He's a little goofy.
It is a little goofy.
Alright, who's next?
That's Don't Care.
Is she even a character?
I mean, she helped them with, like, the tower thing. Like, okay, I gotta hack the tower for you.
I'm a hacker.
Oh, the crocodile. I like her.
She's fun.
Yeah, like, I love her smile. Like, I like the smile she gives. It's so nice.
Yeah, I like when she bites the thing in half. I deadass didn't know what her semblance did the first time because they had it just be her aura. They didn't think of doing a different visual. God damn it.
Yeah, I like the clock thing she does. That's a cute way to reference the character she's based on.
I enjoy that. That was nice. And she has this funny accent.
Yeah.
She's fine.
Yeah.
Who
NPC.
the hell is that?
I think that's like the spider faunus girl who was in volume 5 for like a minute and a half.
Yeah. Alright, we got this guy that got murdered
Tuxing's
by Mercury.
book trade. Home to Tyrion.
I have a spiritual connection with this man. Yeah. I like him. He's fun. He just makes me happy.
Should we put more people in compelling? Because like Charming's getting real big.
Oh yeah, we can move. I think we can move like.
I'd move Marrow up there.
Should we move like? Should we pick like Nora? Everyone like Nora and up.
If we like move Tyrion like down like and like maybe a Cordovan too, like I think it'd be willing to do that.
I think they can all go up. We can make our list a little more diverse.
Yeah, a little more even spread.
Yeah, and I like Tyrion more than I like her. Yeah, Tyrion, he's funny.
Yeah, not like an interesting character at all, but he's very fun to watch. Definitely.
He's just like, haha, I'm here to murder you. His introduction is so funny. He just runs into the base and starts swinging. don't know what the hell is going on.
Oh, I love his line where like Ruby's like, "What is this about? What do you want?" And he's like, "Oh, how exciting this must be for you! You don't even know what the fuck I'm doing here."
Oh, and he also shows another thing of like people getting their limbs replaced, whereas he is so unhinged. I think he and Mercury are gonna have that, where they both give so little of a shit about anything that them getting their limb replaced doesn't even faze them.
Yeah, they could do something with that.
Yeah, they both don't care. They're just like, yeah, my limb's gone. I don't give a shit because I'm fucking insane and funny.
They're gonna be terrorist buddies together in Vacuo.
Also, when he like happily murders that crowd at Robin's party, that was fun. He was having a blast.
Yeah, he's always having fun, and that's what I like about him. He's always making the best things.
Like, you know, there's like hints at like interesting stuff with him that I like, and it's not like hints where they're dead and never gonna come up. They're hints where like you can make something of them. I like them.
Yeah.
There we go.
Velvet.
Velvet. I don't care.
Yeah, she could go with Coco.
Velvet, I've read half your novel. You're still boring.
But she has such a cool. She had the cool fight scene where she fought the mech with everyone's weapons, and they referenced the Red trailer, and she jumped up.
That's supposed to represent how like her pictures represent like her bonds with her friends, and how if she's close with them, she can keep taking pictures of them and keep using their weapons. But if their bond is strained and they can't see each other, she can't use it more than like once, which would be interesting. Except the only reason it works is because they have to lie to me and pretend she has any friends outside of Team Coffee when she doesn't.
Oh, hold on a sec. I gotta do something real quick.
All right. I guess for Watson, we're just going to point out he's just, like, funny the same way Tyrion is. And Yang's good. Funny dog. I don't remember any... Oh, we're going to talk about Weiss and Winter. I like one of those, too. Make sure I don't have any homework, dude. That'd be embarrassing.
My laptop was literally about to die. I did not notice.
Oh, nice save.
Yeah. All right. Vernal. The red herring.
And that was literally her whole character. It's just she's a red herring.
Oh my god, like, they could have at least given, like, one line that would explain, like, why she's so willing to die for Raven. Like, oh, Raven's like my mom. This can tie into, like, the family theme. The family theme that Yang and Raven are having
right now. Could have been, like, Ren's
now.
dad. Another example of someone looking for society outside of what exists. Except both of them just fucking die and don't do anything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we got Vine. I like
Vine. The final Aesop, I like Vine.
Yeah, he has a cool sacrifice. I like him.
Yeah. He's like the most cool-headed of them all, like, which is supposed to like express like the whole like logic aspect that they're trying to, you know,
and
strive
like
towards.
His thing of like his flexibility. He's the one who's able to, when he and Harriet are both in that bad situation, he's the one who's able to be flexible and see that they're wrong, and because of that, he's the one who's able to do what Clover should have done and protect the people over taking pride in Atlas.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah, he's nice.
Also, Yang fucking killed him.
Oh my god, she murdered him. With a smile on her face, too. It was great.
Alright, we got Watts, who's just Tyrion, but smart.
Yeah.
They're fun. I like when he yells at Yang. When he yells at Cinder. It's funny.
That's great. He literally makes her cry. Oh my god.
Yeah, and he has a really good voice actor, which helps carry.
Yeah.
I like how he calls Ironwood James when they fight. It's really funny. I have to do this, James.
I think like the character and like the thing he had going with James was not interesting at all, but like he plays off everyone else so well.
How like Ironwood is all solid and determined, whereas he like hacks. He doesn't like actually care about it. He's all flippant.
Yeah,
there's stuff there, I guess. He's fine.
Yeah.
I can do math too.
You're smart, but you're not the only one who can count.
Don't put Weiss and don't care. That's mean.
Yeah, I was just like flipping my thing around because I was doing.
Weiss is the definition of unearned character development every single time.
I'm not sure where I want to put Weiss because like.
Is she more compelling than Nora? Or is she like at the bottom of compelling?
I mean, I like the stuff with her family, like oh, you know, you and Winter just left us behind, and like, you know, because of that, like Whitley was sort of slowly getting brainwashed into a mini James, and but like you had like antagonized him in the early in Volume 4.
Yeah, and I like her stuff with her semblance, with like the whole learning from her battles thing. One thing that does piss me off about it is because if she kills a Grimm, she can summon it later. They never let her kill any of the cool Grimm, and it makes me salty. Let her kill Godzilla. Let her summon Godzilla. It would be cool.
Yeah, one thing I like about Assemblance too is that it's like hereditary, and that's like of course like a metaphor for like, oh, the expectations that are on my family right now, and like what they expect of me and what I expect.
Yeah, but it's cool because it's like the thing that she carries into battle isn't her experience and history of her family; it's the history of her own battles.
Yeah, that's cool,
and that's cool.
I'd put her like above. I'd put her above
character development, though. I'm gonna rant because it's bad.
Oh no! What's bad about Weiss? Don't you remember? And she winks at the camera and says, "I'm the best girl." Okay, how can you not like her, Shiki?
So first in the training arc, Weiss hates RWBY because she's fucking annoying, and then she protects RWBY, and the reason why is just because she decided to. She didn't have a reason to learn to care about RWBY.
Okay, but that's just one example. You can't think a second one, can you?
And then literally like 2 episodes later. She's like, RWBY's a bad leader, and then the teacher's like, well, I think you're kind of a bitch, and then she's like, no, and then she sees RWBY studying, and she's like, never mind, I guess RWBY, I'm gonna be the best teammate ever. It's like, okay, good for you, Weiss, it's unearned. And then final unearned development from Volume 1, we got hi boy. She went on a walk and decided racism was bad. Blake's entire racism subplot in Volume 1 is Weiss learning to not be racist.
Oh, and she solves it by going on a walk.
Yeah. Oh, and no, I gotta give credit to her unhinged rant where she, in order, says, people disappeared, people were murdered, and merchandise!
Daddy's profits were down by 30%! 30%!
Yeah, no, it was, and then
very angry!
And I think the one that pisses me off the most is the found family stuff with Yang. It was Yang, right?
Yeah.
Where she's like, you guys are the closest thing I've ever had to a real family. And it's, like, really touching and wholesome, but then you're like, wait a minute. Whoa, wait a minute. The only person she actually, like, has, like, a good conversation with is RWBY. Her only interactions with Blake is learning to not be racist to her, and she never talks to Yang.
Well, I mean, so, like, Yang, I feel like you could make a case for, because they did, like, team up in the Vital Festival, which is something at least.
But they didn't do anything. It's kind of like, you tell me you're a family, but I don't believe you.
Yeah, at least not yet. I mean, I get, like, by the time Volume 8 ends, like, I'm totally, like, I can buy that.
Yeah, but that was after the speech had already happened. She's like, oh, wow, that's unearned. Again, you don't earn the emotions you're making me feel.
Also, I love her line talking about Sun, like, oh, I'm sorry, do you want me to stop referring to the trash can as a trash can?
Yeah, she's so... No, when Weiss is racist, she's funny. Yeah. Saying that had to end. Who's next?
Whitley. He's a neat plot device. I'd put him down here.
He's bloody. And I love how, like, wrongly animated he is in the right way, where his body moves like he's like a snake slug weasel fucker.
Yeah.
I hate the way he moves in the best way.
Yeah.
Winter.
Not Winter. It's
it's not Winter. That's
Willow. Willow, the mom.
I don't care about her alcoholic mom.
Alcoholism, TM.
No, it's like if only you were as interesting as your husband.
Winter. I like Winter.
I like her more than I like Weiss.
Yeah, easily.
She has a lot of good stuff. Like, she's Ironwood's ultimate foil.
Yeah. I like how she's used in Volume 3 to just, like, portray, like, the bubbling tensions between, Ozpin and, Ironwood. Like they just have the two right-hand men fight, which is pretty clever.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and then she ends up like not like maybe this isn't the best way to go. Maybe Ozpin, sacrificing Mantle isn't the best thing to do. Maybe
it's kind of bad. And another really cool thing about her is like the Winter Maiden, when her power was given to Penny, she said, "I have a duty," but what that duty was left in the air, and that like question is like up to each person who holds the Winter Maiden title to decide. Yeah. Penny decides her duty is she's gonna fucking die. So
she rejects authoritarianism and becomes more human.
Yeah, and then Winter is able to use her duty to reject Ironwood fully as being the ultimate embodiment of the duty of her like academy country.
Yeah, she smashed the patriarchy, man.
Yeah, and she did it. She showed that the correct duty is to value citizens and lives. To fuck you, Ironwood.
She becomes a real girl by watching Penny become a real girl.
Oh, dude, when her hair's down in that one scene, she's very attractive. That's nice.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like her. She's a good character. She's very nice.
Where does she go, like, up here?
I think she can go better than Oscar.
Yeah. That seems good.
One thing is she's probably not going to develop a lot more because I feel like her arc is done.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the last thing she's going to do is she's just going to die and then give the winter powers to Weiss. Like, I feel like that's how it's going to end.
Like, try, like, rebuilding, like, a government and, like, help and, like, learn from her mistakes, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Stuff could happen or stuff could not. I'd be happy either way.
It's Yang! She's going a diamond. She's a diamond.
Yeah, she's good. You like her more than Cinder? I don't, but I don't care. You can put her above Cinder. I'm
actually not sure, because like these three, like, you could sort of interchange them. They're just my three favorites.
Which one do you like more, Mocha?
I like Yang more.
Okay.
All right, I guess Mocha. This is his one choice during the whole tier list.
Yeah, because we would know.
We're not putting Penny down, so he gets to choose who's number one.
Yeah. So Yang's good. You said you're making a video on her, so we won't go too.
Well, I mean, I'm making a video on her, Cinder, and Ironwood.
Yeah, but Yang's creme of the crop, so we can like keep it kind of light on her.
Yeah, like I really love how like like she like I said it before with Cinder, like they're both super confident, but how they get their shit rocked at Beacon, end up recovering in very different ways. Like with the I literally think I just said this, like, with Taiyang, like, his speech, like, oh, Yang, you'll never be as strong as you want to be. Yep. You have to, like, learn to cope with your weakness and vulnerabilities, and then you'll become a better fighter for it.
Yeah. Oh, I just remembered a good Cinder line. Here she is, the fucking Fall Maiden, insanely powerful, fighting Winter, saying she refuses to starve, because to Cinder, not being the strongest is equivalent to starvation.
Yeah.
So anyway, also Yang is, I guess to round out Adam, we can talk about how she interacts with Adam, as in she's the only good thing to ever happen to him.
Yeah.
Another,
of course, like, Yang's, like, a big thing with her powers that, like, anger can be, like, a premature trigger for it and, like, a fuel for it.
Yeah.
But, and, like, with Adam, like, of course, like, I'm not sure if it's the same for him, but, like, his anger is making him use his semblance in a very aggressive, wasteful way.
It.
Yeah, he just spams it over and over. Whereas, like, Yang, like, waits for the right moment and then unleashes her anger in, like, a very effective way.
And, like, he literally does it irrationally. He already knows Yang can block his attacks with his metal arm, and yet he tries to go for the kill in a way that he should know he can block it. But he's so fueled by his anger, he doesn't think.
Yeah.
And like she says, he can charge up without taking damage. That's basically cheating. Kind of like a very on the nose. It's like, yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like considering the rest of Adam's character, that doesn't really suit his power because like he's literally branded across the face with a huge scar.
Listen, Adam's still a bad character, okay?
But ignoring that. And just being like, okay, Yang knows what it's like to be hurt, like it literally happened to her at Beacon, so she knows she has to be more careful when she fights, and that she's a better fighter for it.
It's almost like Adam's a bad character, but anyway, it's kind of just like, that is a power that reflects her well. It's just Adam fucking sucks.
Yeah.
What are you going to say, Mocha? You're actually going to say a thing.
Oh, yeah. I like... Sorry. I like how in her trailer that she reloaded against the twins, and we never see her reload ever again.
Thank you, Mocha. Thank you, Mocha. Yeah. Oh yeah. Also, I like her theme. The I burn. So cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Can't hold me down.
Yeah, it's good. Biggest flaw with Yang besides dating Blake. Her fucking outfit in 5 sucks ass.
Yeah, I don't like the dusters. I think they're sort of extra, but like she does get rid of those. But like I know like what you hate is like the gloves or like
worst, has a worse design with worse zippers. Hi, Blake. Hi,
oh my god, Blake's like design with the zippers in volume 7 on her fucking thighs. Why?
In her shoulders and then her dumb Blake's it's such a bad design. It's bad.
I guess so, like another thing I like about Yang is like how everyone talks about like, oh, Yang, you gotta get back to normal, like in that one scene, but like me having one arm is normal now, and like she just has to become a different normal herself,
right.
Person.
And I guess like another thing is fuck, I forgot. No, fuck, no. Oh yeah, no. I was gonna say one kind of middling thing about her is like a lot of characters that are good. She's kind of just whatever in the first 2 volumes.
Yeah.
Like her character arc starts in volume 3, just like RWBY. It's just when it takes off a lot better.
Yeah. Like I'd say like Yang's by far the most like complete member of Team RWBY.
Yeah. That's why she's probably the one that's gonna die first. If anyone.
I remember I think I had you like tricked for a sec when I said, oh yeah, Yang died when she fell off at the end of volume 8.
That made me realize something. When Cinder did her little kaboom, she knocked a bunch of randos off. They aren't the only ones on that island. There's a bunch of random civilians on that island stuck with them.
Nah.
And if we don't see them, that's a plot.
They died when they took the fall. They didn't have an ore.
They weren't top tier enough.
I guess like one thing I forgot to say about Cinder is that like she doesn't feel safe unless she has power, which like is part of like her pettiness. Whereas like Yang's whole thing is like fuck, I was about to say it. Yeah, like it's like a part of like her getting past her trauma is like not only acknowledging that this bad thing happened to me, but like it can always happen again. So that's why I have to like be a smarter fighter. Yada,
and I like how like with the whole like prosthetic thing again, she like personalizes it. She makes it her own. She makes it a part of her. She doesn't like become like any more robotic or heartless from it.
Yeah, it's just extra.
Yep, not like you, Ironwood. Love you, Ironwood. Though. You're so great. You're just a bad person, dude. Look how balanced we are. It's like half villains and diamonds. We're so good.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4. I guess like Ironwood's like on
heroes.
The fence. Like you could call Ironwood a villain, I guess, but like it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no, Neo's on the fence though, because that's a real protagonist. I just like Neo.
So we just got finished. Okay, that's an NPC.
We got fucking Yagarats or whatever. We got
don't care. Well, I mean, he does turn into a fireball, so like I would put him above the gods.
No, he's just funny. It's just the fact that he can be a cannon is very funny, and that implies he has a better force field than a lot of characters that we actually see fight. And I think that's funny.
Yeah, that's great.
Dude, that's actually Summer Rose. Convince me I'm wrong? You can't.
Alright, so there's the list. We just got finished binging the show like a couple days ago. So what do you guys think about RWBY as a whole?
If you think I'm wrong, fight me. I will win. I am 5'6".
Or Mocha, you have
RWBY. I think RWBY is a show that has characters in it.
Wow, really?
They
have, progression of some degree.
That's true.
Varying amounts.
Oh, do we want to talk about what we think is going to happen in Volume 9?
Well, we kind of already did a bit with, like, Raven and Neo.
No, like worries. Like, can RWBY do another good volume?
Oh, right, yeah, because, like, it's a fucking roller coaster. Like, the first 2 volumes, not great. Like, sure, the fights are cool, and, like, it's got good music, but, like, it's not great.
Solid.
Volume 3 is good. Volume 4 is good. I like it a lot.
We don't talk about 5 and 6.
5, like, the thing is that Yang's stuff in that volume is some of my favorite stuff, but, like, everything else is just bad, besides, like, some Cinder and Raven. But, like, it's boring, too. And
6 is really boring, besides, I think my favorite part of 6 is the one-off chapter with the Grimm house.
Oh, yeah, like the apathy. That was really good. Like, I love the idea, like, Salem represents, like, an evil that will outlive you, and that can be, like, a scary, daunting thing, and I'm glad that was acknowledged before they decide to continue.
Yeah, that's cool. One thing is, like, fucking, because, like, as we pointed out, they were really good at handling this military authoritarianism theme, but that theme's done now.
Yeah, Volume 7 and 8 were the good ones, because Ironwood was here making everything awesome.
But now they have to pick a new theme.
Like, what's gonna happen next? I can't say I have the confidence that they could, like, on one hand, I'm like, okay, that's 2 good volumes in a row. Like, maybe we're past all the bad stuff now, maybe. But, like, they still did all this, right?
Uh-oh.
Like, it's always possible that we'll dip back down to this, right? I can't have full confidence, and that kind of makes it more exciting. Like, oh boy, it's like a sports game. Like, is my team gonna win this time, or are they gonna lose?
I think my guess is the next theme might have to do like isolation and like relationships countering it or whatever, and it'll be like fine.
Yeah, like, I'd be perfectly fine with Volume 9 being like another setup volume that's kind of slow, like Volume 4 or 6 was.
Like interesting, but I think it'll be like my hope is it'll be like fine.
Yeah.
All right, we finished the list. Audio, please, I'm begging you. We replaced you with Craig. Please be better than Craig.
Cross your fingers.